Good evening and welcome back to Timberborn here with our Folktails. I have just opened the gates way too early and lots of bad tide is being poured in. However, this isn't necessarily a bad thing. The cycle has just changed, so this should not be bad tide. This should be good water now. However, this is going to be an interesting little test actually. There's a couple of things here that I'm potentially seeing problems with. I asked last episode whether we should fill this or platform it. The general consensus seems to be to platform it because, one, if we platform it now, we can always fill it later. We can always remove half of it and fill it in later on. That's not difficult. We could always fill it in now and then blow it up later as well. That's an option, but I feel like platforming now and testing the depth and then filling and testing that is probably going to be the best way. If we even want to fill it later, we'll see. Also, leaving it deeper means that the bad tide has got more water to mess with in here. It's got more water to muck about with, to change, to mix with is the word I'm after. Which means that our mechanical pumps and our pumps that are going to go in here, our deep water pumps, not deep water pumps, sorry, large pumps. Deep water pumps are iron teeth. Large pumps. We'll get more good water to pump. So yeah, so this here is because this is what's going to be all the time. It's going to be just bad tide coming in here whilst the bad tides are running and then pouring it over here if there's no space to go, and then if not, it's going to be the good tide pouring here obviously, so the water's going to mix. So like here you can see we've got a little bit of bad down here because it's still bad. It's not actually pouring down. Oh yeah, we've got levees on the side, haven't we? That's yeah. However, there's two problems with this. The first problem is this is not big enough, and it's taking me this long, and someone to comment that I've noticed this. So yes, thank you for all the wonderful comments. Fantastic. Robert Foster, you mentioned that we can't really put 3 pumps in along here, which was my original plan. I was going to have 3 pumps go along like this, and we can't do that. For some bizarre reason, I thought there was 3 gaps in between these, so that we could put a pump in there, but there's not. There's a 3 gap here. We could put a pump in, but there's not in between them, so we can't do that. And also, if I put them here one away from the edge to do that, we could put 1, 2, and we can't put a third one in because there's only a 2 gap in there because it's only 8 spaces. We've only got 8 spaces between this and this. We've got 8 spaces. We can rotate them around to put the pump pipe in between there, but we still need a path. So doing that gives us 2 spaces in the center, and then doing that gives us 2 spaces in there. So the 2 spaces in the center are where the path's going to go. So yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to put the pumps in this way, like this, in here. However, there is another potential problem which I'm not going to fix right now, but I'm going to make sure I leave space to fix it in the future. The potential problem that I see is this right here. So the water is going to pour into here, which is fine. Right now it's pouring out the end of here, but technically this will be closed or sealed off completely, and it will just be the mechanical pumps pumping the water out. And it'll be pumping good water out, which means that in time, this will be full of bad water. Completely 100% full of bad water, and the pumps won't be able to pump anymore, and it'll be pouring off the side here. Then the good water is going to come along, and it can't come into here because this is full. So it's just going to turn and come straight out of here and go away, not mix. This is mixing now because we have the exit here, but if I close this, this will eventually push back, and this bad water here that we see on the surface, see here, it's just going to sit here and do nothing, and the good water is just going to come in here and go, well, I can't go that way, I'm going to go this way. Meaning this is just going to become a giant reservoir of bad water. So I don't exactly know how to fix that. We've got options of that we could have one set of these pumps pumping bad water and just jump it off the edge of the map, and one pumping good water. Or the other alternative that I saw, and the other one that I'd like to do, is have this reservoir extend out into here and come this way. So the water comes in here, comes along, and comes out this end. So we make this all high here, but comes in, turns 90 degrees to this end. And then we have a line of pumps this side pumping good water out into here, and a line of pumps on this side pumping good water out into a channel, which will then pour into here. And that will allow us to do things. And on the inside, we won't have any pumps doing anything at all. And that will work. Unfortunately, there's no way we can have the water come out of here and have this line here still pump, because you can't build aqueducts. You cannot build a platform with a levee on top. It won't let you do it, which is a shame. I don't think I think the water system would technically allow that, but the water rendering doesn't. And that's because if you actually come under the map like this, you'll see water is just a giant sheet. It's a giant sheet on the bottom here, and all it does is wherever it needs to go to, it just pops up to the right place. So you see here, so it's like this is a giant mound of water, and then over here we have it goes up even further because the water's levels up there. So that's the way they render the water in this game, which is a very genius way of doing it. You just have one giant sheet and then you just raise it up at whatever point you need to. It's a good way of doing it. So not every tile is rendered. However, that would mean that if you had water flowing above other water, so you had water running underneath and then a aqueduct on top, the aqueduct on top would not have, the water would look like it's pouring over the edges of it. Sometimes you do get that as well. You do get that in a corner somewhere. I don't have any way of showing it here, but sometimes you'll see in a corner somewhere, you'll get like this, and it'll be in a corner piece. It will be pouring down. Like here, for instance, the water's pouring down onto these platforms here, and it's very clearly going through the platforms, but that's just how it renders. So yeah, and also there's a blue. Oh, there you go. You see the there's the water. The water's going up and it just becomes bad tide at a certain height. So yeah, that's how they do it. Which is, it's a very, very nice way of rendering the water. It's very, very effective way of working. But yeah, so this is what I meant. This is what's going to happen. This is just going to fill with bad water, and the bad water's not going to be able to mix and come out. A little bit's going to be taken off the edge, but not enough to keep our pumps going. So eventually the pumps will take out all the good water. So I think we need to plan for that like now, and have the reservoir come along and go out this way. Alternatively, I could have the reservoir come here, come along and go back out that way, and just have it as a U, and then leave these pumps on this side here and leave pumps this here, which actually, now I'm looking at that, would probably make more sense, because then we're not messing with this over here at all. So yeah, and then we just have the pumps on this side pouring water into here. I'd like to extend this as well out to the end. I know I said I wasn't going to do that, but I might extend it out to the end anyway. So yeah, so we might have to do a bit more mining for that here. Well, we will have to do that. I can see this is potentially broken already. If I open this, obviously the water's got an escape out here. The bad tide's going to pour out into this here. It's fine. There's enough water here for it to mix about and it'd be fine for. But only a certain amount of water is coming down here. So imagine these pumps are pumping, and I don't think they're going to pump as much as this lets out in one go. So yeah, this is just going to become a giant pool of bad water, and everything's going to be really bad. So yeah. So yeah. Mentioned about the pool now. I was going to say Bowcheck. Your name's not Bowcheck. Chris B. You sorry. So again, YouTube. On the comment page for YouTube, it shows me the username and not the actual name, which is very annoying. Yeah. So you mentioned about the whole if we don't fill this and put platforms in, the bad tide will have more water to mix with, so we'll get a more pumping area of it. Makes sense, but because the overflow is at the start and not at the end, it's just going to mess everything up for us. So yeah, so we could put the overflow at the end here, but there's no way to have these pumps pump water over the top of it unless we put another set of mechanical pumps in. Actually, no, there's no way for us to do it. There's no way for us to have an overflow here on the end with the mechanical pumps to work, because you couldn't have the overflow in the end and then have the mechanical pumps lift the water up and over, because they only go one tile and you need to go more than one tile for so yeah, you can't build aqueducts. Please let us build aqueducts. I'd like to build aqueducts. I think they would be fun, a very fun thing to do. Imagine having elevated water across the map and it just pours off the sides at certain places where it needs to pour into little pools. So, yeah. Yeah. Anthony, you mentioned about you're on the side of filling it. I was on the side of filling it, but it makes more sense, I feel, to platform it now and then maybe fill it later. Maybe we could leave this one as it is and platform this one, and then we build the second part, which I'm kind of on the side of building now, building a second part to the reservoir and just having building another. We could extend this. We could make it 11 wide to put more pumps in as well. So we make it like 11 wide, and then we have a gap on the end that comes out into another reservoir this side, which is 11 wide, and then the exit's on this side. So the water has to come along, go down here, and come back again and pour off the map this way. Yeah, I kind of like that idea of having it 11 wide. So we change this here. This tile here would be a one thick wall all the way along to the end, and we make it however many wide at the end we need to have the water flow around. Make it deepen. Yeah. So but if we platform it now, we can always fill it later. So yeah, and we can always fill it later and then blow it up later. Explosions are fun. So yeah, kind of a good thing the bad tide isn't actually oil, because explosions underwater would be very exciting. Oh, right, where else are we? Here we go. Dan B, I really hope this is a YouTube bug. You mentioned that you were the first one to like the video, but you were the 5th person to comment. So I'm gonna do. Don't forget to like the video. Please like the video. It does help out a lot more than you realise. Actually, it's just click that little thumbs up, boom, and it lets YouTube know that you like the content, and it will then recommend my content to other people, and will help. And it's free. I'm pretty sure 99% of you like the video anyway, and it's fantastic. Well, I'm saying that and looking at the views compared to how many likes there are, it's not 99%, but I'm sure all of you that comment do like the videos as well, and I'm sure of that, and it's just YouTube being YouTube and not showing the likes. So yes, so I hope so. Zwiji, we've had an ongoing debate about these power shafts here, and I think what it is finally boiling down to is the fact that you don't like exposed power shafts and wanted them to be buried because aesthetically it looks better. I don't mind the exposed pipes. I kind of like seeing the mechanical. I like seeing it doing its thing. So yeah, we'd have to do a little bit of faffing around to get the power out and down. I say a little bit of faff around, just basically move over things, but to get the power out and down under the paths so that the water from the bad tide didn't pour into any channels. And then here we'd have to do something interesting to stop the water coming out of this channel, because you've got to remember these are attacking a 2-wide channel which is full of water. This channel here goes underneath all these houses. And getting the power into the houses is easy. You just connect them because they're one tile underground anyway. But then the water would pour out down here 1 tile long, and 1 tile wide channels are bad. They not evaporate water, they drain quicker is the best way to do it. The moisture transfer is much quicker on a 1 wide channel because the mass of water is lower. So yeah, we've done that. We've checked the experiments out. I need to do more experiments as well. So I think we're going to have to, that's going to be another one we have to agree to disagree on, because I like the exposed pipes. I like seeing the mechanical thing go around. You clearly want to bury them all. Both choices are completely valid. I'm not saying one is wrong and one is right. They're both completely valid. So long as power gets where it's going to, it doesn't matter. But I don't mind. I've done both. I have buried them as well. So, but for this, I like them being over the top. Yeah, I like them being over the top. Simple as that. So, yeah. You also mentioned about here. We've done a 3x3 pool here, this is for a comment as well. The 3x3 pool is way better than a 1 wide. The 3x3 does a fair bit of area. Obviously, this 1 wide is doing stuff as well here, but the 3x3 you can see is reaching quite far out, like over to here, clearly. And this 3x3 pool was reaching out here. When this was just 1 wide, these were all dead. So it's reaching right out to here as well. So it's really good. So what you could do for the 1x1 channels, the 1 wide channels, is you put a 3x3 pool here. You then go over and you put a 3x3 pool. Well, not necessarily there, but over here where they touch each other. Then you put one in here in between them. So you basically put 3x3 pools in to keep the land all green, and you connect them up with 1x1 channels, and then 1 wide channels. Sorry, not 1x1, 1 wide channels. And at the end of the channels, you put in dams. So when the channels dry up, they don't dry up the 3x3s. And you're not using the channels for moisture. You're only using the 3x3s for moisture. You're basing it all off 3x3. That I really like. That's I mean, the 3 wide channel is pretty effective. 1 dump can deal with quite a long 3 wide channel anyway, so that's not really a major problem. But it would save haulers moving stuff around. it would keep going for a while. On normal mode, you'd probably be alright. The 3x3 would probably not dry up on normal mode. It says, although this dries up here, but this is only 2 wide, so maybe we'll see that one. So I'm kind of tempted to give that a try to see whether the 3x3 does indeed survive a drought. So what if we remove these 3 here, put in some dams here, and then when a drought comes along, we'll pause all these 3. And we know this will dry out and we'll lose some crops, but we're good. We're good for food. And we'll just see how long the 3x3 lasts. Because, yeah, I can't like that. And then if it does work pretty well, we could do that. We could put 3x3, rather than having large channels, we put 3x3s in. It means the roads can be where the one wide channels are, and then on the 3x3 points, you can put a farm, you can put a storage, you can put something just dotted around. And I do like that. You could also kind of overdo it with the 3x3s. You could put one down here where they come dry, so so you overdo it with them. But I'd rather overdo it than underdo it. But yeah, so this is really, really bad. Look at this. Look, this is barely managed to get the bad tide out of here. Look, it's not going because the water's pouring this way so much. It's just not working. What I should have done was put some blocks in here so we can block it and then force the water through. But yeah, so this is potentially would if we'd have set this up this way, that it would potentially have caused major problems with our water flow. So yeah. However, I do want to get some pumps going in here, and we need to do something with this dirt here. So how about we work on that? I mean, we only need basically 8 pumps is filling everything for us anyway, so that's not a problem. So we don't need many pumps in here. But I now don't know what I'm going to do with basins here. Let us do see now I'm like, do we platform it or do we fill it, because now we know it's going to hold bad tide? But if it holds bad water in the bottom, does that matter because the pumps are at the top? Does the bad water sink? Is it a 1-to-1 mix? Is it what? It looks like it sits on the surface, but it's not sitting on the surface because down here we can see the floor is bad. So yeah, but then again, moisture mechanics work all the way up and down anyway, so yeah, I'm really not sure here. The water, it's, yeah, you see, it's definitely not as thick here, but it's thicker here. I opened the gates too early. That's the problem, and this is taking a very long time to clear out. So let's platform it for now. We can fill it later. Let's platform it for now. We fill it later. So right, we want to not do that. We want to do 8. And 8. And I don't want to do 8 there because no, I don't want to do that there. Oh, that's fine. That's fine there. Okay, and then we raise this all the way up. To the surface, basically. Is that the surface? That's not the surface. Wow. Okay. Okay. Well, that shows you here. Yeah. So it's slowly filling. It's slowly filling. So we want to go one more. Okay. Okay. So badoop, doop, and badoop, like that. Okay. And then our pumps are going to go in. We'll start here, shall we? So we can't put it there. So we've got to put it there. We're going to get 1, 2, 3. Maybe we can get 4 in. Hold on. 1, 2, 3. No, we can't get 4 in because then there's no way for the path to come in. That's slightly annoying. Oh well. And then we'll go. There. Rotate this around here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Because we want to put in a path coming back down So these are going to be, this is kind of awkward. This is going to have a double path, which I can't do much about, but that's what we're going to do there. And then we want to have a staircase coming down here and a staircase coming down here. This will change because we're going to have to change this. But I think I'm going to start running it first just to find out exactly how it goes, and then we're going to demolish things later. But because we're dealing with our water here, I want to get way more storage. So I'm kind of thinking of filling up in a small section here and putting loads of water storage in up here. So, yeah, so we'll do that. And then we want to put in our, this needs to be here as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we'll put in a single block, and a single block with a staircase down and down like that, and that would connect the two up there. However, I'm thinking of doing that. Whoa, and then that, removing those three, and it won't work. No, it won't work. That's a damn shame. Okay, so can we come in a different way? Can we do this a slightly different way? What I'd like to do is to get at least 2 like large water tanks in here. So like one there, potentially. One there. If I could, we could put them. I can't put them there. That won't work. One there and one there. So we get rid of that and that. We get rid of that. We put in a double platform here. This is just. Yeah, I messed the size up on this. I definitely messed the size up on this. If I'd have made it 11 wide, we could have got them. No, because that would have been 3, and then we'd have to have more gaps in between the pumps, more stairs coming over. But that would have been doable. That would have been doable. But I didn't do that. Oh well. Oh well. So let's do this instead. Let's do. Double platform. Double platform, and then it's coming down there, there. That's the road to there, and that's the road to there. Like that. There we go. Okay. Okay, and we've got one bit of redundant space. Yeah. I don't need to do this, because it's not like we're fussed about resources, but I'm kind of thinking if we did that, we could get rid of the get rid of these here, and we wouldn't have to no. Okay, wouldn't have to build just as much. Not that it particularly matters, but you know. Yeah, so yeah, maybe we could try that there, and then I could do something with the paths, which is a bit more do this. It's crazy. It's a crazy path. Oh, what did I get wrong there? What did I get wrong there? What did I get wrong there? I got something wrong there. What did I get wrong? What did I get wrong? What did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? Brain, what did you do wrong? What did you do wrong? Why did the path not connect the same way this one did? Up, over, down, over, up, over, down. No, wait, what? What? Oh yeah, this one isn't connected. So that wasn't working the way I intended anyway. Okay, so the path was not working as intended. So I can't do some funky thing with the path. So we won't do some funky thing with the path. We'll do this. We'll do this. Where's this here? I don't know. I wanted to make it look zigzag. So we'll do a road from there to there. We'll do a road from there to there, and then we just connect that one, and that one, and we connect this one, and this one, like that. There we go. Okay, and then we'll have a double connection center, which is fine. Okay, there you go. Right. So, and that will allow us to connect all these paths up here, and everything will be awesome and wonderful and joyous and fantastic. And then we'll have to figure out what we're doing here with this. I don't know. That is technically enough to pump enough water for our beavers anyway, providing it doesn't fill with bad tide stuff. We'll see how that goes. I don't know, but yeah, we might have to open up this end here. I'm just gonna build it. We're gonna run it. We're gonna see what happens with it. Once we get the pumps working, I feel like we can demolish this and we can seal this end piece off. In fact, we could probably seal the end piece off kind of now. I think we're almost there. We're not quite. We're almost there. So how about we? I need to fill the end piece off and break these and start these all at the same time. The power and everything all needs to be going and running and everything all at the same time. Although we do have a decent surplus of water. That's not a terrible thing. This is given that, yeah, the Lidos have got bad water in them because the bad water is not pouring out fast enough. Because we're not running enough water down this way. How about we come in here and we seal off this. We could dam it off, which would push more water that way through this gap, or we can let's put some floodgates in. Let's do this. Okay, and I'm just gonna put a staircase in. Like that. And would you please prioritize this and have these closed, please? Okay, so we'll do that, and then yeah, this all needs to be connected and powered, and the whole sort of thing needs to run at once, which means I need to potentially remove at least some of this and put the excavator in. I'm not going to build this one here. I'm just going to remove this one at the end here because I know we're going to have to build the reservoir along. I know that's going to have to happen. So yeah, I don't see this is taking far too long to drain out, and it's pouring. I have a feeling. I mean, I know the bad water. It looks like it's mixing, but I've got more of a feeling that the bad water is actually sitting on the surface, which is why it's pouring all the bad water out first. Which means having this as deep as it is probably is going to be a bad idea. But we're going to go with it and we'll see what happens. We can always change it later. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Just fine. Just fine and dandy. Okay, you're still closed. There's no bad water come down here. Yes, we lost some crops. Yep. It's probably going to soak into this too. So yeah, we need to absolutely get this built up here quicker, please, so that we can seal this off and force all our water through here. So yeah, and see, this is cleared up already. Makes me think the bad tide actually sits on the surface. So having deeper pools is probably not a good idea. Oh well, let's find out. Let's go with it and find out. Yeah, and we'll just see what happens. So we shall leave this one here, and we shall come back next time, where hopefully I can get rid of the bad tide that we've now just sent through and lots of problems. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this one, and I do hope to see you again in the next one. And until then, as always, have fun.